Hello everybody and welcome back to Pierce Gaming News. So remember that Xperia Z3 video I made a couple videos ago? Well, it looks like others might be getting the PS4 Remote Play, and those are the Xperia Z2 and Z2 tablet. Now this was spotted by Xperia blog. This slip up comes from Sony's own Xperia Lounge app that offers different discounts on games and music, as well as giveaways and price cuts on its own hardware. The article goes on to say that this will make sense for Sony to bring its function to the Z2, seeing that the smartphone is just 6 months old. But in order to take full advantage of the PS4 Remote Play, you'll need the $40 GCM10 mount and a $60 DualShock 4 controller, and obviously the console itself, since all the computing takes place over Wi-Fi on the PS4's more capable hardware. That is a little bit too pricey if you ask me. It's just being able to play games on your phone. I mean, for crying out loud, a Vita is like half the cost of that, saying if you don't own a PS4 yet. Okay, now this is great to see that Sony was just worrying about the new devices. It's glad that they kind of came back and was like, yeah, we're going to support the Z2 if this is true. And this also is good news for people who want to play on Remote Play but don't want to buy the Xperia Z3. I, for one, have not used Remote Play, well, very much on my Vita. But when I did, it was a very cool feature. It's always seemed like the connection would always like glitch out and lag, and I didn't really like that at all. The cost to actually have a nice functioning Remote Play is around, I'm going to say $500 if you don't own a PS4, but if you own a PS4, then you only have to pay like $40 for the mount because you already own a controller then. So that's not the worst, but still. I don't think many people are going to be buying the phones just for Remote Play. Maybe Sony could just include the mount with the new phones, because assuming that people who want to use the phones already own a PS4, and maybe that would just intrigue people to buy the new phone, the Z3, or even the Z2, if they just include a mount with the older phones that if you want to buy it new, who knows. But for the people who use Remote Play, I'm not sure why they don't just play on the console that's right in front of them. I mean, it's right there. Why don't you just play on that? I mean, it's not that difficult to use a controller and sit down on the couch and play a game. So Microsoft makes testing Xbox One updates into kind of like a game. Xbox One's preview program can be rewarding in and of itself. You can get to try out cool new features not yet available to the general public. But if you're not satisfied with that, Microsoft is trying to turn the testing system updates into a sort of game by tracking your stats and offering points. So the preview program members will now find a new MyStats section in the preview dashboard app. You can check out how many points you've earned, which in turn contribute to the level of the leaderboard, tracks your progress against that of your friends or other users if none of your friends get preview updates, similar to the new gamer score leaderboard released on the Xbox One's update earlier this week. So the points are earned by completing quest, rating upgrade, updates, and participating in surveys and polls. There are more things coming to the My Stats page soon, according to Microsoft. Who knows when that will be. I'm actually kind of jealous about this whole preview testing program, since it's basically like a beta, and you get to see what Microsoft has up their sleeve next, which could be a good or a bad thing. The My Stats section seems like it could be a very promising app, since it's where friends can check on each other and how they are doing in the game, and maybe try to outbeat them. So will this be like a news feed kind of thing where you can see updates and you can even go into your friend's profile and check on them and see how they're doing in their game? Or will it just be a list of all the games and you can see each other's? They didn't really say, so that's just speculation. It seems like a really cool feature. Last but not least, here we go again, guys. People are going to flip out on this one because it's not 1080p. Sledgehammer Games' upcoming first-person shooter through the performance ringer, stretching out the game to the absolute limits on the frame rate and resolution department. I'm talking about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So Thomas Morgan came out and said, running at a native 1600 by 900 at both events, a boost from the E3 era 882p. Yeah, Thomas, that's not very much. Those 18 pixels are not going to make a huge difference at all. Little has changed the Xbox One's rendering setup for multiplayer, suggesting this number is a lock for all modes in the final release. The team ensured that the performance is evened out to accommodate 16 players without slowing down. So I wanted to refrain from talking about Call of Duty in my videos, but I'm going to talk about it. So in all my past experience, none of the Call of Duties looked very promising visually, and I cannot speak for this one, but it looks like it's going down that same path again. I don't care if it's the developer came out and said that it was designed for the PS4 and Xbox One, because you know what they are doing. They're just rehashing the same game over and over again, and there's only so much to milk in that cow before you can just not milk it anymore. Call of Duty needs to just go away. And I'm not being mean, I'm just saying that because these developers have gotten so lazy with this series in the last few years, and I'm surprised people still buy into this game. Well, the same goes for Madden, although they did actually improve it a little bit. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due, and they did improve Madden 15 over 25 by miles. But anyways, they have ran out of ideas for this game, and now they're just going further and further into the future because they don't know where else to go with it. And for me, the gameplay reminds me of Halo, and I'm a fan of Halo, but come on. I would have just went back to modern day. Even though many people that played Ghosts or whatever, they probably wouldn't have really liked going back to modern day, but you know what? Oh well. Call of Duty is where you pay $60 to play online with your friends, and it's their cash cow, and they want to keep riding this game out until they can see a huge decline in sales. Well, back to the resolution problems. I shouldn't talk bad about Call of Duty because I did enjoy Modern Warfare 2 and loved the campaign. But when I tried Modern Warfare 3, I could not even play the campaign because it felt so bland and they didn't even try anymore in the series, and it's really sad that they just kind of gave up. So basically Modern Warfare 2 was their last great Call of Duty game made. Okay, let's get back on track and to the topic of this. Now, I'm not a Call of Duty fan at all, but let's be real here. When you're playing multiplayer online, you're not worried about how good it looks, you just want to run and gun with your friends. So why are people going to complain, you ask? Well, let's see. We're all graphics whores, and there's no way around it. It goes all the way back to the 8 and 16-bit wars, where we wanted better visuals and graphics in games, and that's all everybody cares about anymore. That's what it seems like to me, at least. Let me tell you, graphics don't make up for the gameplay at all. If a game does not run 1080p 60 frames per second, God forbid we have to go and write stories about it and complain. Now, I realize that 1080p should be a given with these consoles, but it's just not going to happen because these consoles are not as powerful that everybody makes them out to be. But I guess we will have to wait and see about this one. But so far, it's the beginning of another letdown for the Call of Duty series. Alright, that's all the news I got for you guys today. Make sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll be posting another video tomorrow. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.